When I had my neurological problem, it started one February morning. I was about 35, I remember. And I woke up at about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I remember it like yesterday. And I couldn't move my toes on the left side of my leg, and I'm left-handed. So obviously I was extra freaked, because that means I lost even strength in my left arm. I was finding it difficult to write. My neck became like this. And I was getting worse pretty fast. And we went to neurologists. We have all the scans and copies of all the tests here at home. And the neurologist said, okay, we'll do MRI scans, CT scans, X-rays, everything. And we did them all. Nothing was showing wrong. We decided between each other, there's got to be something that needs to be done. So I prepared. So we started searching for a gender identity specialist, because I told Audrey I had a suspicion. When I told her I was TS all those years ago, I did not realize just how the intensity of it. I did not realize how serious it was. I just thought I was TS and that's it. I didn't realize there was something else as on top of it, sort of. And we were doing our homework, talking to our contacts and our friends to try and find a gender identity specialist, and finally found one. In the meantime, I was preparing a letter for him, so on and so forth. And we made the appointment, the initial appointment. And we went in the office, I remember. It was in May 2010. She 4th of May, Shahajek. And she had to help me walk in, because I couldn't walk on my own because of my neck. I was still pretty much like this. I didn't have my own hair in those days. I had a wig. We went in, and somewhere we sat down. I presented the letter. He asked us questions, you know, some really hard-hitting and difficult questions for both of us, but they were necessary. And then he said, okay, you definitely have gender dysphoria. That is without a doubt. So we will start you on a minimal dosage of estrogen and an anti-androgen, but not a normal anti-androgen. An anti-androgen is a testosterone blocker, to block the testosterone, so the estrogen will work better. But I won't give you I won't put you on a full dosage or give you that one. We'll gradually get you into that. But let's see how you go on a minimum dose of estrogen, especially. So I was on about 2 milligrams of Premarin, 2 to 4 milligrams of Premarin for about 3 months, and I had 1 milligram of Propecia in those days to help my hair, and at the same time start slowly blocking the testosterone. After 3 months, I could start moving my toes again. Fact. And every so often I had to go back to my consultant, and you know, we didn't tell him about my neck problem because we were afraid that he might think it could endanger me, so he wouldn't give me treatment. I'll come to that in a second, how he got to know. We kept on going to him like that, and every few months he'd keep increasing my dosage, and while I was on my dosages, my neck problem was reducing. I was getting better, fast. I was really getting better. I was like a sponge, soaking it up. And then we were told to do blood tests, because there was a suspicion of me having something what they call Klinefelter syndrome, and before they mentioned it, even though I was doing my own research all my life, I never looked into these things. And we just looked at each other and said, they're telling us to do it, there must be a reason why we're doing it. So we did the test, and it came back positive for the XXY genes. And that's why we don't have children. That means that my X gene was more dominant than my Y gene, than my female gene was more dominant than the male gene. Because that means that no one can say I chose that. I didn't go to God at the moment of conception and say, give me 500 grams of one gene and 250 grams of the other gene. So when people say to me a choice, sometimes I just want to burst out laughing. Yes, yes. And we have all the documents and the proof and the doctors and the surgeons, everybody to back it up. That's why we don't have children. Most transsexual people who transition after they get married, 70 to 90% of them all have children. All could have used the male organ. I couldn't. We tried, I couldn't. And then when we found out all the blood test results and everything, that's when everything started falling into place.